All right, it is March 7th, 2019. This is the Judy Jam. We have been already started with Victoria's talking about the Holocaust, which just got me riled up. And I was talking about how we all need to take our speech and relate it to something happening in the world, happening in the workplace, wherever whatever your speech addresses. And we all need to have passion about it. And it's not just about, oh, I need to tell my story. No, I need to tell my story because in Newport Beach, high school kids think it's okay to put on Instagram how cool Nazism is.
Yeah, I found it. I found that alert.
Thank you. Well, you need to, we all need to get out of ourselves and our own insecurities and our own fears, because we have a message to give, and we need to be into it, because if we're not into it, the audience won't be into it. And it really has to be something you qualify to talk about. And we were talking about the Holocaust, so obvious Victoria, her mother is a Holocaust survivor. And there are very few of them alive now. And and so now her speech is deeper meaning than, is this okay? You know, this is my story. So we're going to move on. Today we're going to go through homework, and then we're going to break up into twos. And I was also talking to Ed Newman about, you know, when we decide who is our audience, and a lot of people will just go make up people, like groups, huge groups. So I'm going to talk to businesses. Okay, you've narrowed your speech to an audience of like 130 billion people, businesses. So the idea is to get down, to narrow down, and where? You know, Chamber of Commerce. What Chamber of Commerce? Spokane. Okay, go to that meeting, ingratiate yourself to people, ask them what are the challenges, you know, they're facing, and then pitch your teamway statement to them. So it's very organic. All right, so there you go. The audience changes what we do. I've just been invited, really kind of a little newsy. And I'm going to say Chappaquiddick. Is that how you say it? Chappaquoy. Anyway, Chappaquoy. Oh shit. Let me just look at it 1 second. I'll tell you what it is. But here it is. Chappaquoy. It is an event, institutions, New York. Okay. Okay. Here it is. All right. I'm performing during a speech over 10,000 people. All righty. And here it is. All right, so let me just show you what I've been invited. I just can't believe it, right? So I immediately, here it is. It's you know, this huge festival of, there's the audience, okay? Like, it's huge. And so immediately I needed to know, how old is the audience? Because, you know, I'm going to adapt what I talk about to them. So there's some kids and what have you. And Diana Ross is performing there. And anyway, it's huge. So I just got invited. So that's really cool. Anyway, so what I always do is I had a conversation with the person. So before I accept something, I want to like know a little more about it. And she told me, okay, this is how it's going to roll. They're having a comedy institute, and they're having producers and directors in comedy, and they wanted to have a woman. So I got these, so I qualify. There you go. Thank you very much. I don't know. Anyway.
I was going to say congratulations.
Thank you. Is that Sarah?
Yeah, that's me.
All right. So enough about me. Now it's about what you pay the big bucks for. You. So let me go through homework and then we'll divide up. And I want you guys to start thinking about what I said to Ed Newman, because we do have an Ed Babcock. And it's like, is there a group nearby you that you can kind of get involved with and, start talking about speaking? Because anytime I get out of the house and I start telling people what I do, it ends up a job, or they recommend me to something, or, it's like someone said, hey, can you come talk to the girls at the Magic Castle? I'm the first woman who ever performed there in the close-up gallery. I said, sure, I'll do that. It'll be fun. They'll buy me dinner or whatever. I'll just, talk to like 20 people in the dungeon. Super fun. And then one of them said, I told my boss about you, and now they want to hire me for a corporate gig. So anytime you get out of the house, you do something for free, who knows what's going to happen? All right, so let's continue on. So many of you have given me homework, and we did Victoria, who I know I'm going to see in the news soon, and I will email these all back to you. All right, is Lisa here? Lisa, are you here? Do you want to unmute yourself? Lisa, calling once, calling twice. Lisa is not here. All right, maybe she'll be here. All right, next we have, all right, Annabelle. Annabelle, you here? Annabelle, I unmuted you. You unmuted yourself.
Okay.
Oh, you got it. Okay, fantastic. All right, so how are you, Annabelle? Good to see you.
Great, thanks.
Okay, is this yours right here? You want to read it for us? Why don't you read it for us?
Okay. You know how many women see themselves as looking for a fairy tale that never came? As a comic and writer who remade my life story, I speak on how to claim your story. I started life in a foster home, but was determined to find a way to succeed. I was kicked out of my foster home at 15, labeled by the system as a slow learner. I fought my demons, left school, and earned a GED. I wrote my own definition of success. I went to Job Corps, became an executive professional, and I'm currently an English language trainer. And I write and do stand-up comedy.
Okay, Jimbo, I'm on a webinar.
Okay. Comedy. Sorry, I lost my place. I went to Job Corps. Okay. I've learned you are the author of the fairy tale you are in, and you have to decide what part you are playing. I show the audience how to spot themselves in characters and how the part they choose to play is helping them or not to achieve their happy ending. Using humor and characters, I bring the audience to laugh by holding up a mirror to the parts as women we choose to play.
Okay. Okay, good start here. I want to ask somebody who wants to pretend to be a meeting planner and tell me what you expect her speech to be, just to get some feedback from her. Okay, what's her speech going to be? Anybody? Come on, let's all see if we can get this going. What's her speech going to be?
I know,
Anybody?
like a self-reflection on where you are, what you're doing, and is that leading you to a happy ending?
Okay. All right, what am I going to learn?
How to overcome adversity.
I'm going to overcome adversity. Okay. Annabelle, I don't like the word fairy tale that never came.
Okay.
I mean, what kind of women is this, like an older group, a younger group, most of them see themselves as looking for a fairy tale that never came. So let's say I'm 30, I just got married, I had my first kid, I'm living the dream. I mean, then I wouldn't be at this speech?
Well, right. I mean, if everything has turned out perfectly for you, because I think people choose where they're going to go. So if someone came to this speech, I think they would be thinking, things didn't really
All
turn.
right. Let's get rid of the word fairy tale. All right.
Okay.
Okay. But because let's just say we all have a and this is for women, right? This is for
Yes.
women.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. We women all grow up with an idea of, what we want our life to look like, right? What are those ideas of what we want our life to work like, right?
Mm-hmm.
The person we will, marry and fall in love with, right? The, the job we will have so we can, have power in the world, right? I mean, what are some of the other ideas? What's a fairy tale we tell ourselves? Anything else? We will fall in love with the family we will raise, right?
The wonderful house.
Yeah, the perfect house, right? Without cottage cheese ceilings, right? Right? Like get that, but what happens? But many of us, what happens? What happens to us? Go ahead.
Well, life happens. You can't really plan.
Right.
Well, you can plan. Are you saying this is a speech about not planning?
No, I'm saying about life happens.
What happens in life?
You have the baby early before you planned.
But life happens, and the man we wanted, we
expected.
The man we expected.
Well, let's take out man, because we're dealing with, there's all sorts of relationships. And our dream partner,
right.
ends up, splitting, ends up, breaking up the, relationship, right? The job doesn't give us enough money, right?
Or satisfaction.
We are struggling to pay bills just to, stay
afloat.
Thank you. Just to stay afloat, right? I'm, how do you spell your name?
Annabelle? Oh, Annabelle.
Okay, okay. I'm Annabelle. And I'm going to speak on what's your topic. How to claim your story is not a topic. So I would follow the directions. And by the way, I want to show everybody something on this, but there's specific topics I'm speaking on.
Should we? So
getting past obstacles. I don't know, but you have to look and see what are bookable topics. I've never seen. It has to be what somebody's looking for. Like, what is the title of your speech? It's like looking for it, and then you're telling your whole story. Nobody cares about your story. I want to hear credentials. So I would go, I'm just going to get back, I went from, foster care to blah, blah. That's all you say. You don't tell your whole story in this, because this has to be 1 minute.
Okay.
I went from foster care, and I'm going to show women how they can, and then I want at least wait a second, I'm trying to do this. then I'm, and then just, I'm going to show women how they can. I want really succinct this, and I'm going to do this in a 60-minute keynote with, a lot of humor, as I was a stand-up comic, as well as,
Inspiring stories.
Yeah, thank you. Wonderful. Great group. Inspiring stories, but not going to tell them in the pitch, as well as life-changing techniques to achieve blah, blah. Okay?
Mhm.
That's it. Does that make sense? So we want to get past, like, we all grow up with fairy tales. Well, what does that mean? Not everybody goes, someday my prince will come. I mean, the world
Okay,
is
and so
diverse now.
So Judy, so this is a personal development talk. Is that what we're saying?
Well, I don't know. It's what you're saying. I just gave to me what you put here, trying to make
so it's a personal. That's what I tried. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do as a personal development talk.
It could be professional development, though.
I would like professional development, but until you have the key part, which is the takeaways. Now, pretty much on a website, the meeting planner will just look at takeaways.
Yeah.
Like, this is the takeaways, bullet, bullet, bullet. What are the takeaways? So you need to go, insert takeaways. Okie doke, and I'll send this back to you. On another, but well done, well done. I say anything anybody writes, it gives us a way to start, and this is absolutely awesome. And it's all here. I just think you need to figure it out. And I think if you do it about professional development, but I really think I want to know who is the audience, because I'm not getting a sense of the audience. It's very vague. So who is the audience? And I want you to really pick an audience, because you're going to do this as a freebie, and it'll probably be with a group you already belong to.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing I said to Ed, go to a meeting of the group. Find a women's networking meeting and ask people what are the challenges they are facing, and then guide this to address that. All right. So I have to show you guys one thing before I go on.
Where is Annabelle located?
In Heidelberg, Germany.
Oh, wow.
Is that near Wisconsin?
That's what I was going to say.
Americans have no idea of geography. Is that like Idaho or something?
Minnesota.
Don't you know Minnesota? Don't you know? Well, we have people all over. So I'm glad you can be here. And that's why I have it at noon and then 6. So people in Europe, this is awesome. I love the world we live in. People in Europe can be on this call. So really great to have you here. Okay, I wanted to show you something important, a couple important things. And I have to mute people. Hey, Carla. Oh, hey, seeing everybody's here. Okay, so I'm going to log in, and I just want to show you one thing, because when you send me homework, the best thing to send me is a very, very, very rough copy of the message of use statement. So if you go, let's just say you're on module 1, and okay, here's intro, welcome to the message of you. That's not the intro, it's buried. Somehow the programming of this, Jason can't redo it and put in the list. So let me just show you where it is. So I made him like you go here and it's go, miss the module 1 overview video. Do you guys see that right here? That's the only video you need to watch. To hell with all the 16 videos. This is the only video that you really need to see. Okay? Because it goes through filling out the entire message of you statement, which I will show you right here, this, and it goes through filling the whole thing out. And then if you get stuck on it, that video refers you to one of the other video lessons. So I tried to create this as a real time saver. Now, you notice I have this opened in Adobe Acrobat, and that way I can save as, all right? So let me just show you how to do that. Let me show you how to do that. Save as, let's, well, I seem to have, 1 second. All right, share. Okay, so I'm going to do my whole thing here. So, okay, so it says here, right-click, save as direct download. So let's just say message of view formula. If I click on this, it opens it up in a URL, and you could type in all you want, but it won't save it. So in order to save it, you have to go right-click on that, and then save link as, right? And then it'll open up a dialog box. My computer's running really slow, but it'll open, you have to save it on your desktop and then open it in Adobe. So I hope that's clear. So I said, Jason, just miss the module 1 overview video. Just, that's the only thing you need to watch. Okay? That's it. It's 22 minutes. So I've taken like, I just, you know me, I get into the microcosm of everything, and then I get to the molecules and the DNA, then electrons, and then subatomic particles of putting together speech. And you don't need to know that. That's just my own sickness. So, so what I want you guys to do is just watch this one thing, and it'll refer you to other things if you need more help. Okay? So, overview video. Maybe I should have him, maybe he could put down a larger font. I don't know, but that's that. He said, I have to redo the whole program if you add any more. And so that's a workaround. Does everybody get that? So just watch the overview video, module 1. It'll save you a lot of time. And then you could just give me, you know, what Annabelle gave me. All right, let me just rush ahead to Lisa. Lisa, are you here now? Lisa.
I am. Hi, Judy.
Hi there. Okay, so great. Let me just do yours. So, Lisa, so this is your heart story. Very good. And how do I save on this site? So I answered that question. Okay, the reason I'm speaking to you is, you want to read this?
Sure, I can read this.
Go.
Oh, okay. I had sent you a second one as well, so I'll just read from your screen then. How about that?
Yeah, you sent me, oh, okay. Which one do you want to do?
The other one was shorter because I got your note about just, you know, I don't like life story.
Oh.
Which is a little bit different.
Oh, okay. You sent it to me how long ago?
Probably the next day. Version 2.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Lisa. I only got one from you.
Oh, nuts.
And my assistant has ghosted me.
Oh, no.
So I'm having like a little trouble getting. So we're going to do this one. Okay.
Okay.
So, are you going to change it? But go ahead. Let's talk for a couple minutes on this. Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay. So the reason I'm here speaking to you is that I'm responsible for my own success despite an unsupportive family. I wanted more than anything to build a small empire with my product designs. I wanted to be the next Mary Englebright or Frank Lloyd Wright with products that people loved and wanted to share. I wanted my products to be found in every museum shop around the world that sat on shelves next to the classic artists. I wanted to be able to walk through the shops knowing that my designs brought other people joy too.
Okay.
But there's some things getting in my way. Throughout high school and college, I was going through an emotional turmoil. I was losing my relationship with my parents because of a deep-seated dysfunction that tore the family apart. My mother was a narcissist.
Okay, I'm going to stop you here. Okay.
Yep.
I remember reading this now. And I'm not stopping you because it's bad or anything.
Okay.
But what we do very often, and when we tell a story, is that we are we're indicating our story. How do I explain this to you? It's not like a scene. Like, when did you realize, where were you standing when you realized there I was. I woke up one day, my mother's screaming at me and she's saying, you're a loser, you're a friggin' loser. And in that, and then I got on the internet and I saw the Kardashians and I went, I want their life, right? You know what I mean? It's like rather than this is what I want, and it's very cerebral. It's not a scene. So a story is a collection of scenes. And I really suggest when we write our hard story is we write this. Let me just show you how to write a really good hard story. It's very simple. And everything else is finessing. But the moment, the moment that changed everything was,
So,
where
Judy,
are you? Yeah.
Can I interrupt just for a second?
Go ahead.
That particular moment is actually buried midway through the diatribe.
Where is it?
Keep scrolling. I'm standing in the kitchen with my husband. Keep
Ooh,
going.
I like that one.
Keep going. It's after things got worse, after the
There it
banking
is.
crisis.
Okay. I'm standing. Okay. Got it. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So here we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start here.
Okay. It was late summer afternoon and I'm standing in the kitchen with my husband. Up until this moment, I felt that I didn't have a choice. The reason we initially went with the licensing route was because we really didn't want to create any more product. Outside of the paper goods that we had housed in our basement, we knew what was entailed. Adding more raw materials to build product would make us look like hoarders. But in the kitchen that late afternoon, with the harsh sun rays glaring over the sink, I realized now I have a choice. It's either build product or go find a job.
Okay. Okay. So this, I love that when was it? You're getting very specific. Mm-hmm. So a light summer, I'm standing in my kitchen with my husband. I felt I didn't have a choice. So I'm confused by that. To stand or to sit? What choice? So this is not when it happens. This is again off camera. Because another sociopath, right? I don't understand. We knew what was entailed. Adding more to build product would make us look like hoarders. You're scared about looking like hoarders? So it's very unclear to me. Why is it what is the what is the dramatic moment?
Okay.
Dramatic. Let me just tell you about dramatic moments, everybody. Okay. There's always a moment in our life, and I know everybody will recognize this when I kind of go through it, where it's like, oh my God. Well, and this is like, you're not saying it, it's going in your head. What do I do? Do I help this person, or do I get myself in danger? Do I stay? Do I leave? What do I do? Oh my God. It's like a high emotional moment where you make a choice. And from that time, everything changes. But it usually is where you're confronted. So it sounds to me like the moment of confrontation happened earlier and you're kind of realizing it later with your husband. Because your husband, my husband yelled at me and I went, oh my God, do I stay? Do I leave? Do I go? What should I do? He's yelling at me again. Do I say, I'm sorry again for the 20th time? I'm sorry. Or do I stand up to him? And you know what I did in that moment? Okay. I'm a terrible actor. I'm just, the Holocaust, they came. And I'm a mess today, obviously. I didn't even know it. All right. So I'm just saying that a eureka moment is the moment where we, it's very heightened emotionally. It's not like, oh, everybody's going to think we're hoarders, so I better, and then I have to go work back to this. No, it's, oh my God. They always start with an, oh my God. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Otherwise, it's not a eureka moment. The heightened point in our life when everything changes is always an emotional moment. And it's not, and on this outside, we might just have looked like this.
Yeah.
But inside, we're like, a duck. We might look like a duck on the water, but underneath our feet are going like that. It's just like, it's like crazy time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one paragraph later, I kind of go into that. At that point, it's like,
Right.
okay, let's
Why
screw it.
did you write that? Why didn't you work with someone and just get into, don't even write it, just tell that eureka moment. And don't use past tense verb. There I am. And he is saying, not there I was. There I am. He's saying, I'm looking, I did, I'm thinking, okay? So you're going to do the inner monologue.
Yeah.
It's not that you said it, but that's like, big heavy thing going on. All right. I can't wait to read it. All right. Then once we have the eureka moment, then we can go back and go, well, what information does the audience need to lead up to that moment? And then we can give it as needed. But the moment needs to be written first. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So fantastic. Eureka moment. But I do like how you have, this is what I want. I want this, right? And then the obstacles that happen. That is good because a lot of people ignore desire in a story. And so that's really good. Let's see, we have a couple more and then we'll break up into groups. Any questions anybody have while I'm looking for this other document?
I have a question.
Shoot.
On module 2, video 3, where you're doing the very first part of your speech, and first you go, oh, thank you, MC, thank you, caterers, whatever. Then when you tell people what you're about to do you mention your methodology, or is that already done in the MC's part?
Oh, no, it's, it just really answers the question, why am I here? What am I going to get out of it? And it's just simple, like, I know a lot of you have been suffering from anxiety, from stress, and I'm going to show you how to alleviate that stress using something as simple as your sense of humor.
Okay, so we don't.
It's that short.
Great.
It's that short. No,
Super.
because later you're going to get into that. Good question. Okay, Chappaquiddick. That's the name. Isn't that the bridge that somebody died on? I know. All right. So
Wasn't that the Teddy Kennedy thing with Mary Jo Kopechne?
Yeah. I think
that's not it.
No, that's not it.
It's
Chappaqua.
The Chautauqua Institute.
That's it.
And people as famous as Thoreau, Robert Frost,
Judy Carter. You got to give a list of 3 there.
Judy Carter, and it's this avant-garde educational institution, and people go there and spend the whole summer and do seminars and that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, come. I'll be there August 3rd.
It's upstate New York, which is my old stomping ground.
Oh, fantastic. Who's talking? I can't see exactly.
Ed Babcock.
Oh, hey, Ed. All right. All right. So I think did anybody give me any other homework? Is that it?
Oh, John Morse, I gave you homework.
Oh, yeah, you did, John. You sure did. Let me find it. All right. 1 second. 1 second. I'll get it up here in 2 seconds. Yeah, they made me really nervous because they go, there'll be a podium. And I go, I don't use podiums. And then it's like, then I got, I have to have serious ideas here. I'm more of a, anyway, and it's outside. I was telling the woman, oh, nobody laughs outside. It's so hard to do comedy without a roof. It really, all right. All right, so let me, oh gosh. All right, I'm sorry, but I have the spinning thing of death. Okay, here we go. Kelly, are you here?
I'm here.
Did we do this?
We haven't done anything.
And then I have John just came up. Kelly.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I'm. Just give me 1 second. All right, Kelly, you want to read this?
Sure. So as I said to you, I just jumped right into it. And I've only been on for 2 days.
Okay, Kelly's new, everybody. Welcome, Kelly. Hey, Kelly.
Hi, guys.
Friend. And I tell you, the people who get together with other people really do well. And I'm so
love
proud of Sarah, who submitted her TED Talk, and it's awesome.
2 of them. I submitted 2 of them now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll show you. She was working with Frank King. Did you like working with Frank?
I loved it. He's awesome. Yeah, I submitted my video, my second video for homework. I don't know if you got that, but it's okay if we don't do it today.
Okay. Okay. Why don't you read what we have here? Go ahead.
Sure. I still think it might just be women, but I'll just read for you. Women and men interested in personal development, healing, self-help, and spiritual growth. Women and men who regularly invest in their emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being by reading self-help books, going to therapy, doing yoga, meditation, attending retreats or seminars. Is that an audience, Judy?
Well, let's start let's just see how it goes. You know how, just so say it like this. You know how, go ahead.
You know how.
Women and men interested in personal development. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So you know how women and men interested in personal development, healing, self-help, and spiritual growth, women and men who regularly invest in their emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being by reading self-help books, going to therapy, doing yoga, meditation, attending retreats or seminars, feel stressed and stuck in their lives.
Have this problem. They are
people who feel stressed and stuck in their lives and need a fresh new perspective on their lives.
Okay, so I feel like, so when I listen to this, I'm looking for like a disconnect, right? So people who are drunk usually need new perspective on their lives, not people who are invested in spiritual growth and are already doing things. So to me, it's not understandable. So let me just start you off on the right foot, okay?
Yes.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
At the moment, I'm in the UK. I've just moved here.
Oh, what city?
I'm 25 minutes outside of London. I'm in Beaconsfield. Yes, but I'm South African.
And you're South African. Okay. So let me ask you something. Is there a group that you would speak to? Right? What group would you speak to? All right. And we're going to do what I'm now calling the Ed Newman theory of doing things. And Ed, you've really got to do what I tell you, because you have to be a success now that I've named my technique after you. And that you have to go to a group, and you have to, a very specific group, and you have to ask them, as you meet people, what challenges are you dealing with? And then you wrap this around it for that group, and you pitch yourself to that group. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because right now it's like everybody who wants to feel better is not you want to look up the group on the internet. So when we talk about your audience, it's something that you really need, that is somebody you're going to call up. So I don't know what phone number you would find for this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But you're doing it right. You're engaged. You're doing it. And then let me just look at and see one thing here. And you figured out how to save it. So that's friggin' amazing.
Oh, not the first time. I lost it. This is my second draft.
I guarantee you a profound positive shift and new perspective on your life, one that empowers you to take you out of victimhood and place you as a hero and hear your own story. Okay. And helps you to see that you are the power creator. So this is a powerful creator and author of your life. You'll be able to recognize I don't think you're doing something, I guess, similar to Sarah, is to rewrite your life, right? In terms of you as a hero. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I was listening to, I only came in with Annabelle speaking. It's kind of similar as well, I think, as storytellers, trying to use that as a device in a way to help people get a new perspective.
Here's something. Let me ask you something. I was, and this is good for everybody, because you can see there's a lot of similarities in some of this stuff. So, no, which is great, because it's obviously there's there's a flow of consciousness going on here and you're picking up on it. So I'm not saying that as a negative thing, but I want to add a caveat to it. Okay. I was working with a girl. Is she here? CIA. There you are, Jessica.
Hi.
Jessica, do you have your thing that you want to pitch?
Yeah, I emailed it to you.
Oh, did you?
It was like 20 minutes before this thing.
Oh, it's just, can you just read it for us? Let me see if I have it here. But I think it's really, let me just see. Jessica
really
emailed it to me. No, but there's something going on in, oh, here it is, Jessica. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Hold it 1 second. I'll open it. But let me see what you did here and see if this works. Okay. All right. So I'll just do a desktop here. Okay. So it's coming in. It is. And here. All right. So do you want to read it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, I lost you. Can't hear you.
It's just
there you
here.
Go. Okay,
yeah.
try it. Disarming. Oh, it's too small.
Okay, now I can. Yeah, now it's.
Here, let me. Wait. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
It's
okay.
Mercury.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, disarming the terror. Many people suffer from anxiety. For many people, it's as if a bomb explodes inside of you, and you're taken over by a threatening force. A terror attack that can demolish you. Many people shake, some can't breathe, and shut down. Some people drink and take drugs to lessen the impact, but this sense of impending doom is still inside of them, affecting relationships and work performance. Many people don't fully live up to their potential for fear of getting triggered.
For triggering
the terrorist within. I'm Jessica Brodkin, and I know about terrorists as I'm a former CIA analyst turned Reiki master. You might wonder why someone who spent 11 years working for the CIA has to do with healing. At the CIA, my specialty was stopping the spread of weapons of mass destruction. Yet I found that the bomb that was waiting to go off was inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I reached a personal rock bottom of mental health before I quit and became a Reiki master and healer for the past 4 years. And for the past 4 years, started my own business in New York City and was featured on MSNBC, the New York Post, Sirius XM, Galore Magazine, and many more. What I found was that the same skill set I used at the CIA to piece together complicated networks, to understand patterns of illicit behavior, are the same skills I use to understand the intricate problems of my clients and put together a remedy to stop internal destruction and create healing.
Yes.
In my keynote, Disarming the Terrorist Within, I will show audience how to look for clues for anxiety eruption and stop it before it explodes. Manage anxiety with Reiki energy balancing tools. To use your anxiety, to have greater compassion for those around you and yourself. I'm going to do this in a 60-minute keynote or half-day training using stories from my high-stress work at the CIA, humor, and audience participation to create an experience where people will walk out with long-lasting tools that they can use immediately.
Okay, let's have a discussion about this. Anybody?
Okay.
I love that.
It's really powerful, but I would like to have one more key as to what the bomb was inside of her. What caused that stress? Or am I missing something?
No, we didn't really say it. I mean, I have PTSD.
Because of your work?
Honestly, it's from like child sex abuse. So it's a little.
Maybe that's the bigger thing, Judy. What do you think?
I think if she's going to go into corporate work, I don't think it's safe to really go into things like that, because sexual abuse is can be easily triggered, and I don't think the corporate environment is a place to do it. I do think women's groups would be better.
Jessica, connect with me after, because I have somebody I want you to meet in NSA that's doing a lot of work on the child sex thing, and maybe she can give you some insight.
Okay. So what I was hoping people would see, and why I brought this up right now. Anybody? What makes us special?
That her experience
at the CIA. Okay. So let me bring it back to, who was I talking to? I'm sorry.
To me, to Kelly.
Kelly. I want to bring it back to Kelly.
Yeah, that was powerful. I love Jessica's.
Yeah, it's really well done. And when she first did
it's not wishy-washy. It goes right into it.
Here's what I love. Here's a woman who knows about terror attacks, right? Weapons of mass destruction without and within. It's very powerful, and it's quite interesting. So we need to use our credentials no matter what we talk about, because when I first worked with Jessica, she didn't mention that she worked for the CIA, and it wasn't in that. So when I spoke to you, it was that you're from South Africa and you're living in a different culture. And is there any way to use that? Because don't we all feel like a stranger in a strange land? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love that, because the thing is, I've actually lived in many different countries. I've actually traveled so much. I've probably had over 100 jobs, Judy.
Oh my God! How do we fit in? Now that's a huge job. That's huge. That how you learned how to fit in, no matter where you are, immediately with any group, would be more powerful of a topic for you, especially with all your jobs. And it would be something that HR training people would love to hear as well. So, it's just, how do you make people feel comfortable and fit in when they're new employees? Okay.
That's really, really nice. I love that. I've lived in so many different homes as a governess, as an au pair. I mean, I've had so many different. I'm living with a woman in her 90s right now. She's downstairs looking after her.
Oh my God. So, all right. Okay. So we have that. And let me just do one more homework, and then I'll put, because I have John here. Shoot. I have the ball of death for John. Was there anybody else who submitted something?
I did.
Who's that?
Carla.
Okay. All right, John.
Judy, it's Ed Babcock. I sent you something, but I think maybe I'll wait until after you and I talk.
Okay, yeah, because we're having a private consult. One sec. All right, that's there. Okay, so here's this. Let me see if I can get it a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, John. All right, do you want to read this, John?
There we go. By the way, just so you know, I wrote it, I left the original part, then I cut it back.
All right, well, let's have Carla read it. Okay, Carla, you read it, because this is an introduction, right? So Carla, can you read that?
I actually can't see it.
Okay,
who
can you see
I
it?
think I can. I can read it.
Okay.
Starting with the revised version.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever wished you had a formula for solving problems before they cause real trouble? Our speaker, John Morris, will share problem-solving techniques learned from aircraft crashes. Now, many of you are thinking, I'm not a pilot, so what does this have to do with me? Well, these techniques can help anyone resolve small problems before they become big problems, and deal with emergencies before they become disasters. John graduated from Princeton with a degree in aerospace engineering. For more than 40 years, he has represented oops, it moved. Persons and companies in lawsuits arising out of aircraft accidents. John will share stories of lessons learned from aircraft accidents and will explain his simple 3-step problem-solving formula. After this presentation, John will be available to answer questions. But first, he will be speaking on problem-solving techniques learned from aircraft accidents. Please welcome John Morse.
Okay. Yay, John. Woo. Well done, my friend. Comments from anybody?
I totally want to hear that talk. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, it really does. I kind of want to have something a little bit. Have you ever wished you ever a song? Okay. The thing with airplane crashes, I understand, is that you have like one of the most complicated jigsaw puzzles ever. Is that true, John?
Yeah, that's basically true.
Yeah, so you have so many different pieces and you have to come to a conclusion, right?
Well, chances are there's more than one problem that's caused the accident.
Yeah, but you have to understand from the small details, get the bigger picture, right?
Sure, of course.
And I wanted to put some, can you just add that in some way? Have you ever had a problem because before they could, real trouble, all right? So there's that issue, or how do we discern, how do we look at the, or I don't know, when disaster does happen, right? How do we, understand, what happened and how to, I don't know, this is not happening right. We understand what happened.
Perhaps I can give you an example.
Well, I know I like keep it. I said we'll share problem solving. We'll share problem solving. Learn from air crash from. Okay. No, I think it's good. It's so interesting, and again, it's you taking your expertise, your credibility, having a speech that about problem solving, and and linking your credibility to this problem. It's so interesting. So far today, what has emerged, and I want everybody to get together and go, how do you take like a motivational talk, which is basically we're all talking about the same thing in many different ways, conflict resolution, motivation, whatever we're talking about, but how do we give it our own spin based on our credibility? So that's going to be the big question that we ask. So why don't we just have a short meeting?
Quick question, Judy.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I tried to Google, couldn't find it. When is the TEDx in Temecula? When? What date?
I don't know. You have to look online and see what
I did. I couldn't find it.
Try harder. You gotta, figure it out. I don't know when it is, but I know applications are open till June 15th.
Oh, okay.
And then if you want to work with Frank, I'll send you a link on how to do that. We just put together a whole TED part, which is different. You don't get paid for TED, but it does give you a great video and gives you credibility, and you get to figure out your message and do a 12-minute talk. So anyway, today, here are the themes. I'm going to sum it all up, and then we'll move on with our life. So today, what we learned is that you got to bring your credibility or where you are in your life or what jobs you have, your uniqueness, and find a marriage like Jessica did between working the CIA and Reiki Master. There is a bridge, and we found it. Weapons of mass destruction outside of ourselves, in Iraq, and in our head. So, so we need to bring that. Number two, when you do your heart story, first focus just on that really small moment when everything changed. Don't worry about anything else, and don't even understand if it makes sense, because you can do the background material later, because that's all leading up to this moment. So first get that moment when you really realized what you wanted to share with the world, okay? That moment. That's a real good moment to figure out, and that's called your heart story. And it's the reason why you are putting all this time into it and helping people. That moment you realized it. And thirdly, that it really helps to work with somebody else. So I'm going to, as I always do, I'm going to turn off my mic. I'm